Second. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry to hold you up. So we have a couple things that we need to do this morning. First and foremost, which had already been announced some time ago, we have, of course, a major announcement with regard to the manufacturing task force. I'm going to make some remarks. We have an executive order. I'm going to sign that, and then we have a number of other speakers with regard to that. Obviously, afterwards, we'll take any Q&A about that particular issue. A few minutes after that, I have another announcement to make, which has been publicly noticed with regard to a public safety announcement, which is a major announcement for the City of Philadelphia. So, one, obviously, whoever's here for the manufacturing task force, certainly encourage you to stay, but I will need to transition from that to a separate announcement right after the manufacturing task force. But we will take our time and address this particular issue properly and then transition to the public safety announcement. Let me welcome everyone here. Sorry to hold you up. You're going to hear from a bunch of folks who I'm standing with, and I'm very, very pleased to welcome here and thank him for his work. It's been going on for about a year, and that is Councilman Bobby Heenan. I want to recognize Councilman David O., who is with us, Dan Fitzpatrick, of course, the chair of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce and president of Citizens Bank, Bill Hunt, who is the CEO of Augusta Westland, a major manufacturer and great business here. And if he is here, Rob Wunderling, President and CEO of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. Good seeing you, Rob. And Alan Greenberger, the Deputy Mayor for Economic Development for the City of Philadelphia. John Grady, President, Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation, PIDC. Joe Holden, CEO of the Delaware Valley Industrial Resource Center, DVIRC. Joe, good seeing you, always. Steve Jarash, who is the President and CEO of the Manufacturing Alliance of Philadelphia. And Tom Moore, President and CEO of Select Greater Philadelphia. I think I've covered everyone. We're very pleased to make this announcement today about manufacturing. And let me be the first to say that manufacturing is alive in Philadelphia and will grow. It is a major engine of Philadelphia's economy and crucial to our city's growth and vitality. Philadelphia is and always has been and will continue to be a city that makes things. And whether it's from a little back in the day, the Bud cars and Stetson hats, Baldwin locomotives, distant saws. Our manufacturing base is not only a piece of our history, but also a major part of our future. Right now, traditional and advanced manufacturing is coming back all across the country. As public officials and business leaders, we are focused on growing the manufacturing industry in Philadelphia. Its expansion creates good new jobs and enhances Philadelphia's reputation as a hub of innovation and technology. We must do everything we can to catch the next manufacturing wave while also ensuring our traditional base. We need to better support the manufacturers that we have by bringing new companies to the region and by attracting new investment in innovative products and technologies. Today, I'm proud to stand here again with Councilman Bobby Heenan to announce the formation of the City of Philadelphia's Manufacturing Task Force. The goal of this effort will be to examine the needs and opportunities of our city and regional manufacturing sector and produce a set of recommendations that will grow this important area of our economy. This will be a full team effort, and we are all committed to work together to identify specifically what we need to do to attract manufacturing jobs and increase production in Philadelphia. That's why, again, I'm excited to be here with many members of our city government, our administration, members of City Council, the Chambers of Commerce, PIDC, DVIRC, the Manufacturing Alliance, Select Greater Philadelphia, and many, many manufacturing executives who are in the audience here with us today. Lastly, let me mention, as President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, the President always gets to advance a particular agenda item. I made mine advanced manufacturing and created a new task force within the U.S. Conference of Mayors to address that particular issue. I asked the great mayor of Charlotte, Mayor Anthony Fox, to head that task force on our behalf. Right now, I'm going to go over to the table. I'm going to sign the executive order, and then we'll have a couple other speakers come up. Let me go over here, guys. This is an executive order, the Mayor's Manufacturing Task Force. It's a long one. Yeah, a lot of work. 15. It is so ordered and created. This manufacturing task force is a key step to ensure that the right people are at the table and develop the best strategies to grow the manufacturing sector of our city and region. And to that end, today I'm pleased to announce the co-chairs of this task force. And they will be Councilman Bobby Heenan, Deputy Mayor Alan Greenberger, Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce Board Chairman Dan Fitzpatrick, and Augusta Westland's CEO Bill Hunt. Over the next few weeks, these co-chairs will develop a list of recommendations of task force members, including voices from a variety of policy areas and representing a diverse cross-section of manufacturers in our city and region. Together, they will all work on providing a practical set of recommendations that we can start implementing immediately. This task force comes at a time when there is a considerable amount of national attention on manufacturing. Our efforts will clearly position us as we look to compete for federal funding opportunities focused on helping develop regions like ours into centers of manufacturing innovation. By working together, Philadelphia will increasingly be seen as the place where new technologies and innovative products are designed, commercialized, and then manufactured. I'm looking forward to this process and to working together to create a realistic action plan to boost manufacturing across our city and region. Let us now hear from our co-chairs, and I'm very, very pleased and proud. I've seen his work. He demonstrates his commitment. He's been focused on this issue. He's done his own research, but has also worked in a very collaborative fashion with our administration, and that is Councilman Bobby Heenan. Councilman?
Manufacturing is live in Philadelphia. Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank my fellow co-chairs for their hard work and input and collaborative effort that we've had with the private sector, the Chamber of Commerce, Rob Wunderling. You have, Deputy Mayor Alan Greenberger and John Grady to my left, whose invaluable input is duly noted, and look forward to working with everybody as we move forward. In 2011, my friend Steve George from the Manufacturing Alliance of Philadelphia and I started talking about ways the city of Philadelphia could support manufacturers. When I took office in January 2012, I got together with Mayor Nutter and realized that we shared a common vision for Philadelphia's manufacturing sector. Philadelphia has a long history of being a place where products are made. If you can imagine it, someone in Philadelphia has probably made it. Today, we make everything from beer and spirits to helicopters to Olympic warm-up suits to giant ball bearings to refrigerators, rubber products, coffee, sausages, and cardboard boxes. Bill Stockwell, who makes gaskets and other rubber components, now owns and runs a company that has been here since 1919. Our manufacturers are in neighborhoods. Manufacturers like Alan Levin from Northeast Building Products, who employs a lot of people from our neighborhoods. People like Alan, who owns these companies, treat their employees like family. Manufacturers provide working-class people with living wage jobs that enables them to put their kids through school and save for a little bit of retirement. Our manufacturers like Pete Wendell, are cutting edge and high tech. They aren't manufacturers like my grandfather knew. These manufacturers are clean operations with highly skilled and highly trained employees. My conversations here in Philadelphia led me to places like Chicago and Pittsburgh and DC, where leaders on a local and national level are actively working to transform economies by promoting manufacturing. Number one takeaway from these trips is that other cities are moving in this direction. Why can't we? Resources are available. There is an energy around this issue, and the time is right. The president is committed to manufacturing. Mayor Nutter, in his capacity as both mayor and as president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, is committed to manufacturing. And we've got leaders like Joe Holden and John Grady and many others who have been working on these issues for such a long time. It's time for all of us to come together and make Philadelphia a leader, innovator, and a first-class manufacturing city. Today's announcement is a step forward for Philadelphia. I believe we can make our city great, create new jobs, boost our economy, and provide opportunities for people like me, neighborhood guys who just want to work hard and provide for families. Finally, we've created a website, www.makeitinphilly.com, and you can find the project on Facebook and Twitter. There are some really interesting stories there. There's some photos and a number from our manufacturers on that site, and we'll be updating them regularly. This is just the beginning, and I encourage everyone to stay tuned and get involved. I want to thank you, Mayor Nutter, for your willingness to make this an issue of yours and your staff to make this happen, along with the diligence and the time that my staff has personally put into this. Countless hours, as you could imagine, goes into a ceremony and an announcement like this. I also want to thank and recognize my friend, Councilman David O., who is the chair of Global Opportunities Committee, has been a wonderful resource and partner in making this happen. Thank you all for joining us today.
I'm Alan Greenberger. I spent 34 years of my life being an architect and designing things that ultimately got made. They got built in component parts, they came to a site, they got put together by very smart people with great skills. And I can tell you from that there is an enormous joy in seeing things made, things that were in your head that become practical reality. So I'm particularly excited about this commission because there's an opportunity now to join forces with councilmen, with my colleague John Grady at PIDC, with the head of the Chamber of Commerce, Dan Fitzpatrick, and with private industry, in this case represented by Bill Hunt and Augusta Westland, but will be many others who are involved, to really think through how we can enhance that environment in Philadelphia. It's a very exciting moment. There are a lot of people out there who have great skills with their head and with their hands. We need to find ways to connecting them to an expanding base of opportunity within Philadelphia. I really look forward to doing this commission with you. Thank you.
Well, I'm Dan Fitzpatrick with Citizens Bank and chair of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber, and we all come from a different perspective. First and foremost, I want to thank Mayor Nutter and Councilman Heenan for your leadership on this, because the bottom line here, this is a great opportunity for a public-private partnership to move things forward. As we said, we all come from this from a slightly different perspective. From my perspective at Citizens Bank, we were very passionate about workforce development and education issues in the city of Philadelphia. Meanwhile, we were a leading lender to great manufacturing companies in the city of Philadelphia and the region. And as we talked to our manufacturers, the one thing they said is there's a need for connecting the right skill set, these 21st century skills, to the opportunities they had in their manufacturing environment. So as we got that connected, meanwhile, I ended up being asked to chair the Greater Philadelphia Chamber and partnering with Rob Wonderling, the great work there. And what we had is a great opportunity right now to create jobs. The number one thing we need to do is create jobs for the city and the region, and then train our young people and our adults for the right skills that our employers need to grow in this environment. The reality is that from a business leader's perspective and a banker's perspective, I get to talk to literally hundreds and hundreds of CEOs throughout the Mid-Atlantic region as well as in this region. And the truth is we are globally competitive. We're domestically competitive. We're also globally competitive. This is not pie in the sky. This is real. We've got great companies. Ron Sandmeyer, CEO of Sandmeyer Steel, highly competitive in a global perspective, competes effectively with a manufacturing plant bending metal in high-tech applications in the city of Philadelphia, exporting internationally from Philadelphia. Again, so many stories like Ron's story at Sandmeyer Steel that are out there. This is reality, and we have an opportunity right now as a region, as we get great governmental leadership and the PIDC and John Grady and the Chamber, everybody coming together for this opportunity, because right now what we have is we have advanced automated manufacturing capabilities and great capacity in the city of Philadelphia and the region. We have an ample, cost-effective energy supply right now that creates competitive advantage. And then also what we have is location and a great transportation hub in this greater Philadelphia region. When you put that together in conjunction with the great population center that we have here in Philadelphia and our ability to train young people and adults for opportunities in manufacturing, we have a tremendous opportunity to grow our manufacturing sector rapidly in the Philadelphia and the greater Philadelphia region. So again, on behalf of the Chamber, we could not be more excited to build on those core strengths. Our eds and meds are a core strength, but that research technology, that intellectual capital we have in this region will continue to broaden out to advanced manufacturing technologies, which creates this great opportunity. And again, we have so many wonderful companies in the region that will be represented on this task force as we move forward. But it is great to have Bill Hunt as one of the co-chairs. What Augusta is doing in Northeast Philadelphia, leading in the global aerospace industry, is really a tremendous success story for Philadelphia. So it's my pleasure to introduce Bill Hunt.
As the CEO of Augusta Westland Philadelphia, I'm very excited to be a part of the team. Lifetime Philadelphia resident for myself and my family. I hear the word family mentioned. We also talk about family in Augusta Westland because this is about, in just a 10-minute conversation in the hallway, talking about the connections that can be made amongst this incredible family that we are here in Philadelphia. So for me, we deliver very, very high-tech products worldwide, all over the globe. And they're built by high-tech technicians that are brought from all over America to build this product. And we have an opportunity in that regard to be able to provide resources from within the city of Philadelphia. So one of the things that's passionate for me is trying to reconnect all of that for ourselves. So we have an employee base here that can be drawn into the company and utilized to be able to build these great products that we build. So I'm incredibly proud, the mayor, to have invited me onto this, and I really look forward to it. So thank you.
John Grady from PIDC, and I just wanted to mention, I think it's interesting we talk about the revival and the continued strength of our manufacturing sector here in Philadelphia. And from my perspective at PIDC, we're an organization that was founded in the late 1950s. We're a joint venture between city government and the Chamber, and we were created at a time in the 50s when manufacturing was really at a serious point of crisis. Manufacturers were leaving the city, skills were leaving the city, jobs and taxes were leaving the city. And over the last 50 years or so, the ability to work closely with the city, the mayor, council, and the business community, particularly through the chamber, has really been a tremendous opportunity to see all of the great work that happens out there in the marketplace every day. I just want to thank the mayor. I want to thank Councilman Heenan for the leadership that they've offered on this issue, for the light that they're willing to shine on all the great work that's going on in our manufacturing sector, and for the commitment they have to invest the time and the resources to make sure that that sector has everything that's necessary to grow and provide for the kind of productive future that Councilman Heenan mentioned. Thanks also to the private sector members, to Dan and to Bill. Without the private sector, without the investment and the jobs that the private sector is willing to bring to this, we would just have a study that's going to sit on a shelf. With the active involvement of our partners in the manufacturing sector, we know that we'll be able to deliver to them the resources they need in the way that they need them and in a way that they'll quickly implement them into the market and where we'll see quick results. So thanks again to the mayor and to Councilman Heenan for pulling this tremendous partnership together. And on behalf of PIDC, we're happy to play a role and support this effort as it moves forward.
So we would, let me thank all of the co-chairs and certainly John Grady as well. Be glad to take any questions on this particular announcement, if anyone has any questions about this. It's August 31st. It's about 8 months or so, 7.5 months.
Do you personally have any specific industries or general areas within manufacturing that you would like to, that you think are most promising?
And certainly the co-chairs can speak for themselves. I think if we look at the history of Philadelphia, we've demonstrated an ability in the past, and I don't think it's that far away from us that, I mean, we can pretty much make almost anything here. But I think first and foremost, let's strengthen and stabilize the industries that we have. Look at what the new opportunities are, whether it's, we're a very strong national and international leader in sustainability and clean tech. We're a clean tech hub for the United States of America, based on a grant that we received from the Department of Energy. There are many products that need to be made and even commercialized out of the clean tech hub down at the Navy Yard. Information and technology systems, again, component parts. There are a lot of things that need to be made. And we even see, as President Obama has talked about on a number of occasions, a number of companies now coming back or bringing manufacturing back from their foreign locations. They're going to be looking for places to be. We can hold out Philadelphia for the manufacturing history that we've had, great location, access to rail, road, air, and certainly a port that continues to grow as well. So we think that we are positioned well to seek a number of different industries, and I think we need to be as expansive and as aggressive as possible. Any other questions on this particular issue? Yes, sir.
But I have more of a statement, and that is, I know that large industries are important, but I would hope that some of those manufacturing companies that have 10 or few employees, as well as part-time employees,
sure,
will be included and represented at the table.
I would certainly expect that to be the case. Again, as we see with much of our business sector, while the 500 or 1,000 person business gets a lot of attention, may get a lot of ink. The fact of the matter is that the small business is the business of this city. It's the backbone of our industries, and it is that 5 or 10 person business that has the opportunity, quite frankly, to grow and expand. It's one of the reasons why we created Start PHL, to focus on the startups, and recently, of course, we were awarded the opportunity to be a part of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 small business initiative, which is for existing companies. And so we want to take you from start here, grow here, stay here. And so small businesses are important to us. Big businesses are important to us because business is important to us no matter what size you are. Any other press questions, inquiries? Okay. Thank you very much. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a very, very short break, and I have an additional announcement to make on the public safety side. So just give us a couple minutes. Guys, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, I got these. I don't have the first part.